Hey, what's going on, guys? This video, we're going to be discussing one of my favorite things to look for in the market. Now, this can show up on small time frames, such as 2-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute, and it can also show up on the larger time frames, 4-hour, daily, weekly. In this example, we have price making new lows while RSI is sloping upwards and making higher lows. So this low on RSI compared to this low is a higher low, okay, and it's sloping upwards. This low compared to this low, it's a lower low. So price is going down and sloping down while RSI is sloping upwards. So this is often used as a reversal indicator. So if the trend has been going down and you start to see this type of divergence, then you may want to consider the possibility that the trend might change. Now, this is a bullish scenario. Now, if we look at the bearish scenario, it's the opposite. You have price making higher highs, so it's sloping higher, and then you have RSI making lower highs, so it's sloping down. This is something that kind of sneaky. So over time, you'll be able to pick up these clues, and it's going to be like second nature. You're going to see this stuff and you're like, oh, that's bearish divergence, that's bullish divergence. And now we're going to go into a couple examples of real price action. This is what healthy RSI looks like. And I know there's a lot going on, but what I want you to focus on is going to be these arrows here. So you have price sloping upwards and you have RSI also sloping upwards. Now, that's a normal type of look. This is an example of bearish divergence. Whenever I see price moving higher and making higher highs, but RSI doesn't seem to be doing the same, I start to get cautious on if this move is real or not. Now, you can see later that price broke down. It's very subtle. You won't see this unless you're, actively looking for it, but also the amount of time that you spend looking at price action and charts will give you an edge up and be able to spot this in real time, and you'll be able to make decisions on the fly. And again, that comes with time and understanding price action. So this is a very subtle indicator that seems to be very accurate when I have used it. Now, here is another example of how this RSI and price action is healthy, because over here you have price making a double bottom while it's also making a double bottom on the RSI. So price and RSI are lined up and they're in sync, which is what you would want to see for continuation higher. So after it makes the double bottom, you see that RSI breaks up and starts to climb higher, and also price does the same. So it's matching together. That's a healthy look. Now, this is going to be a third example. Now, this example is a little more subtle, but I just want to focus on price action a little bit here and how the RSI comes into play. Right away, I noticed that the RSI is weak because it's hanging out under 50. So as it hangs out under 50, price is going to be weak as well. You can see it's just kind of drifting lower. That's because RSI was under 50. Now, what happened was we broke above the 50 level and we made a very nice move. So it's a nice move here. Now, RSI is matching up with price here. Now, the only other thing that's super hidden is that you have a high point here in RSI that's acting as a resistance line, and that matches up with the top of this price candle as well. This is a lot more subtle than the other two examples, but just something to note. And it just so happens that over here we're riding on this yellow trend line here, and that's something that you would have to also keep into consideration when you see that. And you also are looking at these highs here. So if the price can't pass these highs, then you already know that this is going to be weak. And so what happened here, Biden released news on tax changes that he plans to implement. So the market took a reactionary sell-off to that news. So it's just funny how that happens when we're actually riding up an important trend line here, and then all of a sudden you see these little topping wicks here, and then all of a sudden we reject the trend line and just dump. So these are all little subtle things that you're gonna be able to spot along the way. And then over here I start to see like another bear flag forming here, and so being that RSI was still below 50 is very weak. So these are all things that you can put together in terms of intraday trading or swing trading, because you can use these concepts on longer term timeframes. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video on RSI and price divergence, and I hope that you're able to spot these things along the way. And if you're unsure, just shoot me a message. I also have a study guide PDF with more information on divergence and other examples.